Good morning, everyone. I'm very excited to have Mohammed Adib, Chief Design Officer with Dewan Architects. Hello, Mohammed. Welcome
Hi,
to the podcast.
thank you very much. Thank you very much for the invite and for this great initiative.
So, Mohammed, I would like to begin with your design philosophy. How would you describe your design philosophy, and how does this sort of embody in your projects?
I think at D1, sort of the most important thing for us in design is it's always the people that use the building. So we're really very human centric on all our projects, and we like to work very much the experience that the user has when he sort of from the sense of arrival to a building all the way to the sort of the journey through the different parts of it.
Can I also, for the sake of audience, understand a little bit about your role with Dewan and a brief introduction for Dewan as well?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, Dewan Architects, it's actually we're celebrating our 40th anniversary this year.
Wow.
We are a company that's local to global. So we actually grew up here in Abu Dhabi. It was founded in Abu Dhabi in 1984. And we have now 8 offices around the world. We're about 600 architects. And working mainly in the GCC, obviously the United Arab Emirates and Saudi are our main markets, but we're also involved in projects in Africa and Europe, and recently quite a few projects in Southeast Asia through our offices in Vietnam and Philippines.
Well,
Myself,
congratulations on.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
sorry. Yeah, go on.
No. Yeah, I was just gonna carry on. So myself, basically, I'm the chief design officer. So I oversee basically the general language and sort of design philosophy is implemented throughout all the projects, and the identity is kept and maintained, basically.
Well, first of all, congratulations on 40 years. That's quite a feat in itself. And sustainability in architecture is quite, like sustainability in general is quite a crucial topic these days. How do you involve and embody sustainability within your design thinking as well as your projects?
Sustainability is a bit of a fashion word now.
Sure.
For us, it's always been a very, very important part of design. We everything we strive at is improving the quality of the buildings, the impact that the buildings have on the environment. I think one of the very important things is it's not so much sustainability is being used a bit as a marketing tool with some developers and with some clients. For us, the most critical thing is how the building is used. Designing efficiently, designing for the right usage is critical. You can have a platinum gold, a platinum LEED building that is empty. That's probably the most unsustainable thing in the world, even though it has a certificate. If you have back of house spaces that are redundant, if you have corridors that are too big, that need too much energy to heat or to cool, this is unsustainable. So for us, obviously you have to adapt to the nature. This is something we need to learn from the past. People used to live without AC, without everything, and the conditions were much better. You need to reduce, if you are in this region, in the Middle East, you need to reduce the use of glass. A fully glazed building does not make sense in this area. So all these things are very normal, that our ancestors used to use and agreed with and developed in a good way. Obviously, it's been lost, and there are some uses that need a bit more sort of unsustainable practices. But I think it's very important for us is to design efficiently, to try and adapt to the environment of the building, and this is really the most sustainable factors that you can use.
Right. And innovation. Can you like sort of give us one or two examples of the innovation that you embody and sort of which pushes the boundaries of architecture as such?
I mean, innovation, it's something, be it through software, be it through artificial intelligence. We try and use always in the design phase and in the construction phase. So in the design phase, definitely optimizing the use of software that could help develop, control errors, control quality, all these things. It's very important and very critical in design during the design process. And then after that, when it gets to site, we try and always try and improve on sort of traditional methods. Every time we're trying to reduce on concrete in our buildings, by using, for example, offsite construction. This is something very, very clean. This is something that could reduce the weight of a building, which in turn reduces the amount of concrete, which in turn reduces the carbon footprint. So all these processes. Architects we are at nature very, very curious people, and we like to investigate. We like to do a lot of research. So, I mean, even here in Dewan, actually, we have a special department which is called MAD. It's called the Metaverse Architectural Department, but it's purely for investigation, be it materials, be it AI, be it new software, be it ways of construction. All they do is investigate different things, research, look at other people, what they're doing, and then try to apply it in our projects.
Challenges in architecture, Mohammed, especially with evolving technology. What do you see as the major challenge in the architecture today?
I don't see any sort of difference. We've always had challenges. We've architecture has always been required to adapt to situations. So it's really for me a challenge is a positive thing. It's not a negative thing. The challenges is where it brings out the sort of the best in a person, and especially in construction and in architecture. We need these challenges to adapt to things and to evolve. It's a very important thing, but I think the challenges are getting what we said before, sustainability, to comply with sustainability is a challenge for us, because at the moment it's a cost impact. Until legislation makes it absolute norm, that's what we have to do, so that the price would go down of construction to be sustainable. I think this is one thing that we're striving to do. We're insisting always and trying to do sort of as much as possible, so that legislation is changed and makes it almost, like a standard, almost, and not like a marketing trend. In the Middle East, especially, the fast pace of the project is a bit of a challenge. At the end of the day, if you give me a month to design a building instead of 2 weeks, it will be much better for sure. So I think that the fast track projects is a challenge in the negative way. But I mean, we're architects. We just take it in our stride and wake up the next day and do something else. So it's all good.
Well said. Now, since we have a few more minutes, I thought I'll ask you what would be your suggestion, something personal, for young aspiring architects who are starting off on the field, or even people that have spent not as much as time as you in the architecture field. What is the one or two inputs or suggestions that you will give them?
I think if they're studying architecture, they're already quite convinced about it. Architecture, you either love it or you hate it. It's a very, very time-consuming, antisocial kind of a life. So for me, it is. I am sure that it is the best possible decision I could make, by becoming an architect. I've been working for almost 35 years, and every year is more enjoyable and more challenging. For young architects, I think the most important thing is to visit as many buildings as possible. To try and understand how people become a voyeur. Sit there and watch people, how they use buildings, how they enter, how they interact with certain things. This is at the end is the most important thing we can do. We build buildings for people, and the people use it in a different way. You have to take a step back from your personal likes or your personal things, and understand spaces as a general thing that could be used from a man that's 80 years old to a child that's 2 years old. It could be used for different cultures. It could be used for different things. People with disabilities, people which run around the places, all these things, everything that's designed needs to be for the people. And the only way that you learn that is by visiting places, having the experience of other architects that have done buildings, historical buildings, modern buildings, and watching what people do. And basically don't give up. It's a tough job at the beginning, but just keep at it. Do as much research as possible. If you like a style and you want to develop it, just stick at it until just keep hammering the stone until it breaks.
Well, it's quite an interesting perspective, Mohammed. Even for me personally, your idea of visit the building and take off your personal opinion towards it and look at it from a functional point of view, very interesting. I have one personal question for you from my end. I've seen you at several of our events, and one thing I notice all the time, and what gets my attention is your calmness. Is there a formula to it? I'm sure there's a lot of things that going on in your mind, and architecture, such as it is a lot of thinking work. But you carry an aura of calmness around you. Is this something you frequently hear, or like what is the
Yes,
secret
yes. I
for
mean, it's unintentional, but it's when you're agitated is when you make the wrong decision. You have to be very calm and see the things that are happening around you in a clear head. So yeah, I mean, problems come on their own. If you're agitated as in character, personally, then it's a bit more tough to go through life. So I try to be as calm as possible. I try and sort of take every day as one step at a time, and that's worked so far. I'm almost 60 years old, so it's going not too bad.
Well, Mohammed, thank you very much. I appreciate your time and the thoughts that you've given us today. And I will see you very soon.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for everything.